Glasgow's history can still be seen today through its museums, art galleries and theatres. Many of these buildings have undergone rebuilding and refurbishment to reveal Glasgow's impressive Victorian architecture. One noted building located in Merchant City is the Britannia Panopticon Music Hall. It is one of the only 4 remaining music halls in the UK.
The Britannia Panopticon Music Hall actually opened as Britannia Music Hall in 1857. It comes from a thing called a free and easy, where when you went to the pub and you drank too much, you discover talents that when you're sober you're unaware of. So you jump up and you do a song or a dance or a comic routine or whatever you felt your talent was. Of course, in public houses in the 1840s and 1850s, this kind of impromptu entertainment was illegal because of the fact that every kind of theatrical performance was governed by special theatrical licenses. And that was to make sure that none of the content in any theatrical performance was rude, crude, lewd, ungodly or treasonous in any way. Unfortunately, the backroom pub entertainments, the singing, the dancing, etc., was generally rude, crude, ungodly, lewd and treasonous in every way. So they issued a new kind of license called a music hall license in the 1840s, which turned these wonderful buildings into what they call music halls. But it became known as the Panopticon in 1906 when they put in additional entertainments with a rooftop carnival, waxworks, freak show, a basement zoo and regular cinematograph programme. It was known as Panopticon because of the actual word itself coming from the ancient Greek, pan meaning everything, opti to see or view, and you could see everything from the attic to the basement for one ticket price, hence Panopticon.
Well, we opened the charity shops about 5 years ago, and they go to do with the day-to-day running of the music hall. We don't actually do the restoration because we couldn't possibly make the same amount of money as required for that. But what we do is we give information about the Panopticon, we make it available to other people so that over the past 5 years we've had a lot more interest in it. So it won't just be flattened and made into a car park, you know. So our job was to more or less be informers as opposed to be fundraisers. But we've turned into a fundraising body where we can raise money to allow people to be employed to raise the big funds that are needed.
Over the years, it gained a massive audience and a massive collection of well-known celebrity artists. Most famously, we had the debut of Stan Laurel in here in 1906. It closed in 1938 because it couldn't any longer compete with the 130 Art Deco picture palaces that filled the city of Glasgow and entertained the people of Glasgow. In fact, this was known as the Cinema City of Europe as a result.
The Townscape Heritage Initiative manages grants for building owners that wish to restore and reuse historic buildings.
We recognised really early on how important that it is. It's A-listed, which makes it of national importance really in Scotland and the UK. So very early on we identified this was a key building to try and tackle, and working with the owners, the Mitchells, who have been great, and the charity, which is Judith Bowers, and the Music Hall Trust, we've funded it, we've put about a third of the money into it so far. So it's had its roof restored, the facade has been completely restored, and that's included the new shop front and the new cherubs that kind of leap out the top floor of the building now, which weren't there before, they were only in a photograph. Approximately about £350,000 of grant from the THI has been put into the project, the conservation works on the building.
Well, this is a full conservation project because this is the oldest surviving in the world, and it's actually one of only 4 music halls surviving in the UK. It's a very important conservation because it actually survives intact. Nothing was removed. The stages are still here, the gents' urinal is still here, we have original gas mantles, everything still survives, even the bench seating upstairs. So it's the only opportunity to actually bring back to life an early survivor of the music hall, which actually shows the progression from singing saloon to very early cinema, because we started cinema in here in 1896, through to vaudeville, variety theatre, and if you like, the first multiplex because of all the different entertainments from the attic to the basement.
We see the future of the Panopticon as being a museum of music hall, as opposed to being a venue. We will be putting on live acts. We have bands that want to play there. We have entertainers, well-known and up-and-coming entertainers who all want to perform there because of the history behind it.
There's all sorts of things nowadays that we could do with that building that would appeal to a popular imagination. So you're not hearing classical opera and you're not going to see a ballet or whatever, but you're doing something that is probably more vaudeville and stand-up comedy and burlesque and the kind of things that pull in quite an interesting crowd of people. It'll be a really noisy, rumbustious, colourful place to be, and there's a market for that.
The ultimate goal of Britannia Panopticon is to bring her back to life as a living, breathing museum of the music hall and popular entertainments that were on in here in the first place, right the way from music hall shows through to burlesque, early films, all that kind of stuff.